Welcome everyone to the It's Time to Uncovert podcast. This is your girl Covert Agent 0615, and I am here today because we have a special episode talking about the mental preparation and protection when engaging in sexual relationships. And this podcast episode is in relation to one of our 3 specials for the month of September. If y'all remember, we had Reason 17 with National Suicide Prevention Month. We had Mr. Relentless for National Self-Improvement Month. And then today we have Miss in Her Voice for National Sexual Health Month. And yes, whenever we think or we hear the term sexual health, we're going to automatically think different contraceptives, how to protect ourselves physically. But she is here today to give us her spin on what worked for her for the mental preparation and protecting of her mind for sex. So before I bring her on the show, I do want to give a huge shout out to the Trap in Houston, Texas. They are a very awesome, creative, supportive space here that has allowed us to kind of invade their space. Like we have like our own little corner in their area where, we get to really explore the creative side of how we want these podcasts to sound and to flow, and just thinking, of different ideas on how we can relay messages and stories to y'all. And so if you're ever in Houston and you're a creative person, whether it's, your art is dance or photography, videography, or whatever the case may be, look for them. Just stop by, see what they're up to, because they always got something going on. Their space is always changing. Nothing is ever the same here. So just huge shout out to the Trap. We love y'all so much, and thank you for letting us use your space. And before I bring in Miss in Her Voice, one more thing I want to remind y'all is that all of our special guests here at the It's Time to Uncovert podcast do have these aliases. And so what that does is it gives a protection to our special guests, because a lot of what they're sharing, one, it is their own personal story. And 2, our platform is to provide that security and that safety for them to be willing to be open, and share these sensitive topics and share these intimate details about different parts of your life, but still not let everyone know their business, because we don't want everyone in all of our business. So, we provide that safe space here at It's Time to Uncovert. So, Miss In Her Voice, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited for you to be here. You are a 2-time bestseller?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're an author and you write some erotica, is that correct?
Yes, I do write a little bit of erotica.
A little bit of erotica, okay. So before we get into what you did or what you learned in your process of the mental preparation to, as a form of protection when engaging in sexual relationships, can you tell us what it was that, brought you to want to share your story with us to begin with?
Well, I am a A1 Day 1 fan and supporter of Covert Beauty.
Yay!
I've listened to I watched all of your live videos, and I listened to all your podcast episodes.
Yeah. You really are A1 Day 1.
Absolutely. So GI Pain, as well as Reason number 17, helped inspire me and gave me the courage to actually come and speak about, my process.
Mm-hmm.
How do I protect myself?
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely understand and relate to GI Pain when it came to, feeling comfortable to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
And not worrying about being judged or scrutinized. As well as listening to, Reason 17, her story, and listening to how, a lot of the thoughts that we allow to manifest in our minds can be detrimental to ourselves and others.
Okay.
So that gave me reason to what, if they can come on and talk about something that, impacted their lives, that they grew from it,
Mm-hmm.
I can do the same.
Yay. So our stories kind of help you come up.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. I'm very excited and glad that, you really are A1 Day 1.
Absolutely.
And that, the stories of GI Pain and Reason 17 did help you, I guess, grow that comfort in coming to us and sharing your story as well.
Yes.
Okay, so you ready to jump into it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited.
Okay, so before we start talking about, I guess, like the full on mental protection and how you prepare yourself mentally for engaging in these kinds of relationships, can you just give us a little bit of an idea of who you are? Like, what do you think people think about you when they see you?
People's opinion about me varies depending on the relationship I have with that person.
Okay.
But one of the three things that I hear a lot when people talk about me, they say I'm reliable. I am the go-to person, and I'm very dependable. And that go-to person comes in all aspects of my life, whether it's family, random interaction with other people, or even at work.
Okay.
I'm the type of person where if you come to me and ask me a question and you don't know, and I don't know the answer, we're gonna go find out together, because you're helping me expand my horizons as well as me letting you understand that I'm committed to this. Whatever it is that we need to find out, we're gonna find out together.
Okay.
Then I'm prepared for the next person that asks this question.
Okay.
Very reliable.
Okay.
When I commit to something, I'm going to do it. Period. No if and buts about it, because your word is your bond.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So you're very reliable.
Yes.
You like to solve problems, it sounds like.
I
Or
do.
not like it, but when problems are presented to you, you find a way to solve it.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Your writing, what led you to explore that?
My writing helped me accept that, number one, I had a voice.
Okay.
And number two, it was okay to share it with others.
Okay.
My writing was literally me expressing everything that I was feeling, things I wanted to say, but I was not comfortable sharing it verbally with other people.
Okay.
And so my writing pretty much became my voice. It helped me find my voice.
Okay.
It gave me the confidence to speak up and say what I mean and mean what I say.
Okay. So your writing was your avenue for expressing yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so does your writing, because I know like you write some erotica.
Yes.
Did that help at all in, I guess, your own mental preparation?
Yes. So my experience with erotica, whether you're reading or you're writing, is all about what you feel, what you can sense,
Okay.
what you can see.
Okay.
Because people, I like to think that words like a scene of erotica, it's literally just a scene. It's just the type, the manuscript part of it. You're not actually getting to see it. And so, for me writing erotica so freely and being comfortable with it helped me in the physical sense, with me understanding that the simple act of standing in front of a mirror naked and pointing out the flaws that you see about yourself and embracing them, empowering yourself to actually, accept the flaws that you have and understand that you're still a great person no matter what you look like on the outside.
Okay. So this standing in front of the mirror naked, can we explore that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what all does that do to someone besides, okay, I'm just looking at myself naked in my mirror?
For me,
Yeah.
my opinion, standing in front of the mirror naked and actually examining yourself for what you like on the outside, it gives you a chance to embrace what society is going to see you as.
Okay.
Because yes, we could put on clothes and everything. However, clothes are not going to hide everything.
Okay.
And it gave me a chance to actually understand, okay, why is it gave me a chance to ask myself, okay, you don't like that your stomach is bigger than anything else on your body. Why? What is it about my stomach that made me feel like I wasn't sexy, I wasn't attractive, it was just understanding that self-love. I learned to love myself during that.
Okay.
Like standing in front of the mirror naked, that's a different type of level of love. Because if you're gonna do it, you have to do it like all the way. No standing in front of just the mirror so you can see your head and maybe your chest. No, you have to be literally front of a floor to ceiling mirror and actually embrace who you are.
Okay.
Understanding what makes you the person that you are.
Okay. And so is this like a one-time thing though, where you pick a random day? Okay, on Saturday I'm gonna just stand in front of my mirror for 5 minutes and say, "Oh no, I love this and I love that," or is it a true process to where you're really forcing yourself in a way to embrace and like look at you, right, and embrace what you are or who you are, what you look like?
In my opinion, I would say it's definitely a process and a lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
I'm not saying that you have to be naked in front of your mirror every day. Like, sometimes we gotta go. But for me, I would say, personally, I would suggest to other people, stand in front of the mirror naked until you're comfortable understanding that, okay, this is what I look like without these clothes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you embrace your flaws when you're naked in front of the mirror, you feel more comfortable understanding that, okay, I might not have the newest Gucci belt or the Gucci sandals, but I look good in what I'm wearing. I don't have to look like everybody else.
Okay.
And that's where it comes from, standing in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, the only person you're seeing is you.
Okay.
So there's nowhere to compare yourself to.
Okay. And so you touched a little bit on the self-love that you got from doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit more about how that's important for this topic in particular?
Self-love is important in every situation where you come in life, but with this part of the self-love, the actually understanding that this is who you are,
mm-hmm.
and this is who you want people to know and love, and to be unapologetic in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that, self-love is important because hurt people, right?
Okay.
And how could you ask someone to love you and accept you for who you are when you don't know who you are and you can't love who you are yourself?
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it's just like, how can I can't expect someone to say, I can't say to someone, I want all or nothing, but I'm only giving you 25% of who I am, so you're not getting all of me. But I can't give you what I don't know. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say self-love is extremely important.
Okay.
Because then you won't go into situations in life, friendships, family relationships, platonic, or sexual relationships. You won't go into a relationship expecting a void to be filled
mm-hmm.
that you can't fill yourself, because there's no responsibility to make you happy or make you love yourself. It's your job.
Okay.
And then I guess that's what I mean when I say standing in front of the mirror being naked, not just in the physical sense but mentally.
Okay.
Erase all the thoughts out of your head and focus on what's in front of you.
Okay.
Encourage yourself to understand that you could be in the mall with 15,000 people, but you are the prettiest and the most gorgeous person there because of where you are mentally.
Okay.
That is the most important lesson learned in standing in the mirror naked.
Okay, so it's not just having no clothes on.
Oh no.
It's even taking off these judgments you already have of yourself mentally.
Yes.
And
yes.
and stripping that off of you as well.
Yes.
And really looking at all of you. Maybe, yes, physically, of course, that's what you're going to see, but digging deeper
yes.
into these thoughts that you have about yourself. And like I said, like, we can't, it's unfair, I guess, for us to go to our partner, whoever it is that we're in relationship with, and expect them to just meet all of our needs, right? Whether it's intimate needs or these sexual needs, when we don't even know what we really want.
Yeah,
right?
that's about it. Yeah, it's not fair to impose your expectations on someone else when you don't have any expectations for yourself.
Okay.
See, it's like telling the kid, don't touch the hot stove, but you have your hand on the hot eye. Okay. And they're like, okay, well, I'm expecting you to show me not to touch the stove and not to do it because this is going to happen, but you're doing it and you look fine, so I can do it too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And then we get mad when they do it to us and we do it to them.
Exactly. But
taking the chance to know who we are.
You get what you give.
Okay.
And I had to learn that. You get what you give in
hurts.
all aspects of life.
Okay.
If you give 10% of yourself, expect people to give 10% of themselves to you.
Yeah. It's only fair.
It is. It's fair.
Okay. And so these voids that whether we know it or not, we want them to be filled, right? Could that go into, I guess, the differences in what intimacy is and what sex is?
Absolutely.
How so?
Okay. So the voice that you have in your life can differ depending on who you are as a person. You may crave stability. You may lack self-sufficiency.
Okay.
You may lack the simple understanding of the difference between intimacy and sex.
Yeah.
And so it all boils back down to actually understanding who you are and loving yourself.
Okay.
Because when you go into a relationship with someone, whether it's a physical or platonic or literally reconnecting with a long lost family member, the communication is the foundation in every relationship, no matter where you are in your life.
Okay.
And so when I think of intimacy versus physical interaction, I separate it, and it's so funny because this is what I tell myself. Intimacy is what it is, the unspoken love language between two or more people. And intimacy could lead to sex. Or intimacy can lead to strengthening a relationship on a different level that many people on the outside looking in would never understand.
Okay.
So, for example, one of my most intimate relationships with my older sister. We could be in a room with 1,000 people, no phones, nothing. But I can look at her and we can have a whole conversation with just looking at each other and understanding by body language, okay, like it's time to go, or you need my help, or what's up. That's the relationship I have with my sister. That's an intimate relationship that someone else from the outside room would just think I'm just staring off into space. No, I'm communicating. Okay? And then on the sexual side of things, when it comes to intimate relationship, that's where your pillow talk comes in my opinion. That's where your pillow talk, and then you find your safe place and your confidant. But you cannot share your safe place with someone else if you're not safe with yourself.
Okay.
That's what I feel the difference between intimacy and actual physical sex with someone is.
Okay.
But you because you can have sex with someone.
Yeah.
And when it's done, that's it. Like, don't ask me about my day. Don't ask me to give you a kiss. When I'm done, that's it.
We're not cuddling.
We're not doing that because that's intimacy.
Okay.
However, if I need you to just hold me, play in my hair, give me a kiss on the forehead, that's intimacy. That's a comfort place. That's me letting you in on a piece of me that I'm not willing to share with everybody.
Okay.
An intimate relationship is sacred. And I think that's just between physical sex and intimacy. Because your physical sex, that's you not minding your mind, not understanding what it actually means when you are laying down with someone. Whereas the intimate side of things, you understand, okay, it's not just me in this situation. I can tell you that I'm not feeling that. I just want you to hold me. But am I willing to give the same thing to you?
Okay.
Am I willing to put my needs to the side to understand that it's okay to know that he got feelings too or she has feelings too?
Yeah.
And I'm invested in this person. Because ultimately, the little intimacy you have with someone, it really depends on how much you want to invest in someone and how much they're investing in you. That right there is a huge thing that people have to understand. Because of sex, all you got to invest in is a condom, possibly birth control.
Yeah, if that. Okay.
And then, of course, you can get handbags so you can have all your latest stuff when you want to shower. But with the intimate relationship, the things you invest in intimacy are invaluable.
Yeah, you can't buy them at
You cannot
CVS.
get it back, but you can get a return on it.
Okay.
If it's done right.
Okay. If it's done right.
If it's done right, yes.
And so, how can you speak a little bit on seeking intimacy through sex? Like, is that dangerous? Is it safe? Let's talk about that a little bit.
That is toxic.
Toxic. Ooh.
Toxic. It's not even dangerous. It's toxic. Like, you stick your foot in there, you might pull off just the toe, just the bones of your toe. You don't want to do that. And I say that for me, I didn't want to do that because the lines of intimacy and sex are blurred so often.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't know what side you're on of that line. You could be mentally seeking a constant understanding where, okay, I just want you to lay down with me. We're going to have sex. That's just that. But your mate is in the same bed as you and it's like, no, I want to commit to you. I want a relationship. I want you to be my safe place.
Okay.
And if it's not understood or expressed that I'm seeking intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Me kissing you on your forehead, me hitting you, letting you know I'm thinking about you. It's not just to get in your pants. And that is toxic to me because we can say to a blue in the face, look, I just told you from the beginning, I just want to lay down with you.
Yeah.
But the human heart, the way we are made, like, we crave intimacy, we crave security.
So we catch feelings.
But how do you tell someone in a situation where you're laying down with them, having sex, that I don't want to just lay down with you and have sex. I want you to know me.
Okay.
I want you to love me. And that's why I say it is toxic, because you find yourself settling for a small piece of a person, and you miss so much more. So then you find yourself on this revolving door where you're laying down with this person, and every time you get up and you walk away from that person, you feel like a piece of you is being left behind each and every time, because it is.
Okay.
Because what you're seeking from that person, you're not getting. And so slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly, as you go back and lay down with this person, you're not picking up the pieces that you're leaving.
Okay.
So how do you replenish yourself to get prepared to stay laying out with this person, understanding and accepting a little piece of you is better than none of you, and that's the toxic part right there.
Yeah.
No one deserves to get a piece of anyone, because if you're going to be with someone, you deserve it all. If you're going to give yourself, if you're going to give all of yourself, you have to be willing to state your demands and understand that if I'm going to give you me, I want all of you. But you can't give yourself if you don't know who you are yet.
Okay.
You have to love yourself enough to say that, no, I'm not just going to lay it out with you.
Okay.
I want you to understand that I am more than this shell.
Okay.
Know my heart, know my mind, know my process. That's the intimacy side of it all. For me, that's what I feel it is.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What if you don't know you want these intimate interactions? What if you don't know that you want intimacy and all you're getting in these relationships is sex?
How do I know okay. My advice to anybody out there, for me, what helped me during my process, walk away. If you are not sure what you want, walk away from every aspect of that situation that is confusing to you.
Okay.
Because that's the least thing you want to do. You don't want to be the contributing factor to the confusion in any relationship.
Okay.
So for me, when I got to that phase in my healing process where I knew that I was over endless and pointless sex. Not saying I was out here thotting and bopping. I'm not. I'm not saying I'm out here just, leaving it over for everybody. I'm not that woman.
Yeah.
But I knew that it got frustrated and harder to pick up pieces and throw it in my carry-on bag. And it was just like, how many more times am I going to bend over and pick up these same broken pieces?
Oh.
So I had to literally remove myself from the physical side of it all and learn to love me. Like, loving yourself is not just a one and done thing. Because as you give yourself to people, you have to remember to give back to yourself.
Okay.
And so me walking away from the actual physical part of sex and understanding that I had to be mentally okay before doing that, that's for me, writing my erotica and exploring, because it's like, when you are comfortable being alone, and you're comfortable with knowing, okay, this is who I am, this is what I like, I'm not going to stand for this, I've moved past this phase in my life, because everybody knows that there's phases in your life.
Yes.
Pointless sex, everybody goes through that phase, but when are you going to walk away?
Okay.
When you're going to walk away and get yourself together and understand that, okay, I've developed, I've matured, I want intimacy. And if I cannot get intimacy, I'm not laying down with anyone, because I refuse to go back and do the same work that I did to get where I am now. And that comes with understanding that it's okay to compromise, but not to conform.
Oh, compromise but not conform.
Oh yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that too. Compromising versus conformity. What's the difference in the two, and how can either one be dangerous or safe?
Compromising to me means understanding that, okay, we don't agree on something, okay, but I'll meet you halfway and you can meet me halfway, and then we'll just work in the middle and figure out how we get to our end solution.
Okay.
Whereas conformity means, yep, you say you don't like that, and, well, I like you, so we're just going to ride it out until the wheels fall off. No matter how frustrated and hurt I am because I know my standard.
Yeah.
I know what I'm willing to accept. I know what I'm putting in. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're at work, right?
Yeah.
And you know for a fact this system is broken.
Yes.
You're trying to put out new ideas to get the system to be improved.
Yes.
But everybody around you is so stuck on the same hamster wheel doing the same things that's not working. Mm-hmm. Do you stay and conform? Or do you compromise and be like, okay, look, we can keep the same hours, but maybe we don't stand over here this many times a day. How about we go stand over here? How about you switch with someone? Okay. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. Or like switching shifts. You know that this crew is not your crew. Okay, well, what other shifts can I work? Okay. So that my work ethic is not compromised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in a sense, not losing yourself.
Absolutely, because people always phrase this thing. Ain't nobody got time for that. But who has time to keep repairing themselves over and over again?
Yeah.
When it's self-inflicted pain.
Yeah.
You keep going. It's like, when is enough enough? Okay. And for me, enough was enough when I realized, like, listen, I can't even get a kiss on the forehead, but you can lay with me. Like, it's okay. I'll walk away. Because I can hug myself. I can tell myself I love myself. And I have others in my life at that time during my healing process that was okay to tell me they love me and okay to say, look, that's who you are. I love you. We accept it. Let's move forward. Mm-hmm. And if I can't get that from the person I'm laying next to, then I don't want it. And so sex was no longer a priority to me. Okay. My self-love, my mental health, my stability was more important than that temporary feeling. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. You having your own stability.
Yes.
Going into these relationships, going into these interactions. Mm-hmm. What was that your mental protection for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually walking away for me symbolized so much when it came to my mental state. Okay. It was literally me closing a door, bolting it like you're hiding from the boogeyman, bolt it up, chain it up, double bolt, whatever you got to do. Yeah. You're closing that door. Not saying it's going to stay closed, but if it's closed, the danger cannot come in. Okay. Me walking away from pointless sex taught me so much more because I was able to give myself what I was so easily and readily to give to someone else that did not understand or was not ready to receive. Okay. So that's what that meant for me walking away. I just I closed my vault. Mm-hmm. That's my safe place. Okay. It was a safe place for me.
So would you say that this walking away that you were doing it's part of your healing process?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Were there any other things that you did that were part of your healing process? I know, like, was your writing, is that part of it as well?
My writing was a huge part of my healing process because when I walked away from the actual physical part of having sex, yeah, of course, once you have a taste of it, you're going to want more of it. Mm-hmm. And so that's when the erotica came into play. I was able to vividly express myself in writing on where I was on a sexual level and mental level, where my comforts were. I was able to say, in my writing that we may not be in a full-blown relationship, but if we're going to be intimate, I need to know that I can trust you. Okay. Because trust is huge. True. And people always say once it's gone, but it really isn't, because if you only do the effort to show me I can trust you again, then yes, I'll put a little bit of my wall down. I'll probably take off, my shin guards, possibly my shoulder pads and all that stuff. But I'm not taking off my face mask. Okay. I'm not taking off my chest plate. Okay. I'm not taking off anything that will expose me to be more vulnerable to someone that's not willing to be vulnerable with me. Okay. And that's another, my writing was my most vulnerable point. If you ever really want to know who I am, mm-hmm, I always tell people, check out my writing, because that's where I'm my most honest. That's where I am the most purest and most honest, because there's no one to judge me and tell me, don't write like that. Okay. Don't do that. My writing taught me to accept me and understand that my writing don't have to be like somebody else's. Yeah. And so that also meant I'm not reading anybody else's work. Okay. I'm not reading anybody else's work. I support you. Right on. Go ahead and do what you got to do. But I have to fall in love with what I'm creating here. Mm-hmm. Because who sets the standard for me? Who sets the tone? Yeah. Do I want to fit someone else's shoes? I can't fit a size 13. I'm a 9. I want to walk tall and proud in my little 9 shoes. You know what I mean? Okay. And so that hiatus of writing and me walking from sex, that was a 2-year break. Wow. 2 years, nothing. I'll still entertain you, we'll talk, we'll text, but just understand that this is closed. Mm-hmm. Because I'm in my maintenance phase. I am maintaining and understanding and teaching myself again that being alone does not always mean that it's bad. Because sometimes when you're in the darkest times of your life, the darkest seasons produce the brightest lights and the brightest flowers. You learn so much when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge part of me, like my writing, like being alone. My happy place went from laying in bed next to someone just to say I have someone laying next to me, to me being in my room with my music on, a couple of candles lit, and writing.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's okay not to sound like someone else.
Okay.
Because I love who I am and I love what I'm producing.
And you can't know whether or not you are fitting or trying to fit someone else until you know who you are.
Exactly.
And so that self-love that we were talking about early on is really, it's vital.
Extremely vital. It's as important and vital as you taking your breath of fresh air in the morning. The same time that when you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself, okay, I gotta get up and take a shower. You have to remind yourself to say those same affirmations, even if it means writing on the mirror.
Okay.
You have to remember that you have to love yourself before you even leave that door. Because as soon as you walk out, you have to remember that you are the prize.
Okay.
It's a lot of people out there, but it's very rare you're going to find someone just like you.
Okay. And so I like a lot of the little phrases that you're saying right now. So I want to ask you this. The you today, the woman that you are today, who knows herself, loves herself, knows what she wants, knows what she will and will not tolerate or compromise for. What piece of advice would you give your former self when you were in those situations where you would settle to be laying next to someone and not the kiss on the forehead when that's really what you wanted?
I would tell my former self to always remind myself that I'm the prize. And if compromising is not an option, then don't conform. Walk away, but walk away in love with yourself and comfortable knowing that it's okay. It's just a phase. Because you can get love from everybody else, but self-love is the greatest love. That's the purest and greatest love you'll ever find.
Okay. So having that self-love and being able to walk away with your dignity,
yes,
like, and with yourself intact.
Yes.
Okay. And so what about advice for others who may be in those situationships right now where they're finding themselves catching feelings, right? Maybe they went into something thinking that it was just going to be like a summer fling or whatever the case may be, right? We met, it's cool, messed around here and there. We said initially it's not going to be anything serious, but then one of them realizes, no, I want you to hold my hand. I want you to stay over after. They want those intimate moments. But because they already said it's strictly sex, right? And that's all that they're getting, and the other person isn't willing to compromise, what would you tell them based on everything that you've been through and that you've learned? How can they get out of it?
Wow. My biggest piece of advice to the person that's in a situation, a sexual situation where the expectations have been made clear, but your heart is guiding your mind, I would say to pick up your little heart, pick up your drawers, and walk away. I know that sounds so mean, but it's like your underwear symbolizes so much because it's literally your little heart sitting on the floor. Hope somebody pick it up. Pick your heart up, put it in your pocket, your shoe, your sock, whatever you got to carry it in. Walk away and go back to the factory and replenish yourself.
Okay.
Because if that person's not willing to compromise for you, they don't see the value in you that you don't see in yourself.
Ooh.
Go find that value again. Walk away. Because I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's like, okay, that's my wife or that's my husband. What do I have to do to show that person that I'm here?
Okay.
I am here and I want to love you for who you are. If the person that you're laying with, all like you said, like I said before, communication is key.
Yes.
However, things change along the lines. And if it's not being communicated or understood or even accepted in a certain conversation, that you have to pay attention to the signs. Mind your mind. People always say that but don't understand it. Mind your mind. Everybody got red flags that go from their head. Everybody. If you go hold that person's hand and snatch away, you walk away too. Those are huge signs. Pay attention to the red flags because nothing comes out of thin air. Pay attention.
Okay.
When you get to that point where you realize that this is not what I signed up for,
Mm-hmm.
or I want more,
Mm-hmm.
walk away and find that more for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put it on someone else to give you that more,
Okay.
especially when it's already expressed that you don't expect that person to give you that piece of more that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. Or they told you you're not going to get more.
Absolutely. That's
this is
even
all you're
worse. If they told you that you ain't getting nothing but what I'm offering you, and you want more, no, it's okay. You know what? It's not you. It's me. It's me. I'm gonna work on me. That's my favorite line.
Really?
That's my favorite line. It's not you. It's me. Because that says so much. Those little words say to me so much.
Okay. What
That's
did they
you
say?
reminding yourself. For me, when I tell somebody it's not you, it's me. That's me telling myself, we passed this phase.
Okay.
Or, okay, remember you locked yourself away for that 2 years? It's time to lock yourself away again. Maybe not 2 years again, because life does go on.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminds me to tell myself, you're worth more than what your body is.
Mm-hmm.
You're worth way more. Way more.
Okay. And so what I'm hearing is that you realize you put in those two years.
Yes.
It's like you did your time.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to go back.
Right.
And you will not allow yourself to walk into a situation where you could end up back in that
Yes.
space.
Because who has time to backslide? Nobody.
Okay. And let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth evaluating first? So, like, I guess in the situations where you're in these situationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe at that moment you do only want the physical, you only want the sex, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want all of that, the intimate parts of the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, right? And they're telling you, this is all you're going to receive from me, don't expect
Mm-hmm.
anything more, don't expect me to tell you where I am, don't expect me to answer your phone call every time you call. Is that stuff worth evaluating?
Absolutely. Anything that goes inside your mind with any situation in your life, especially sex,
Mm-hmm.
that has you second guessing or even dissecting a simple phrase or a sentence out of someone's mouth,
Mhm.
yes, it is worth evaluating. If that evaluating means, okay, look, I know I said we're gonna lay down tonight, but you know what? If you gotta tell a white lie, go ahead. Look, my boss called. I gotta go to work, or I gotta go. Don't give yourself the opportunity to conform
Mhm.
to please someone else when you know you're not comfortable with what's happening right now in your mind.
Okay.
Because that's when it gets scary. That's when it gets black and dark up there, and then you don't know which way's up or down.
Okay. Now, what about, say you're with someone, right?
Mhm.
These same agreements
Mm-hmm.
initially, and one of them catches feelings, and then the one that catches feelings wants to have this conversation just to even see if the other party is
Mhm.
mildly interested in I don't know, talking. Maybe they've been catching some feelings too,
Mhm.
but they scared or whatever the case is. Are those conversations also important?
They are very important because you don't want to be the reason. No, you don't want to be the puppet master. You want a person that's pulling strings
Mm-hmm.
and forcing something out of someone that they're not ready to give you because they don't know if you're worth giving it to.
Yeah.
And so you have to be careful when you go into any kind of agreement, any relationship, any situation, that you understand the impact you're having on the person that you're in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's just platonic, whether it's just a family member, or whether it's somebody you're laying down with.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very important on how what you bring to a situation can affect someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes with understanding and loving who you are, and understanding that what you give can either hurt someone or can build someone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be a breaker or do you want to be a builder?
Ooh.
That's why that's important to seriously look into that, for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't want to break nothing.
Nope, I don't want to break it either.
And I think a lot of us in these situations in particular don't want to be that breaker.
No,
You
I would
know?
hope not.
I would hope not as well.
I hope not.
All right. So, Miss In Her Voice, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
For giving us this whole other perspective on what we can do to, and I say we because I feel like both men and women can both,
Yes.
benefit from all of this advice that you gave us today about how we can, one, see the red flags.
Yes.
And to address them and either go into it knowing what the red flag is anyway, or being smart enough and knowing where we are mentally and saying, okay, I'm not going to walk into that again.
Right.
Right? And how all of this goes into our intimate and sexual relationships. And I love that we touched, I love really how you explain the difference in intimacy and sex, and also the conformity and the compromise, because I feel like those two comparisons, if you will, are very important that we may not even recognize are existing in these relationships. So again, thank you for helping all of us mentally prepare and protect ourselves.
Absolutely. Just like you do that checklist, condoms, birth control, water, all that good stuff. You have to make sure that your mental state is number one priority.
Okay.
As soon as you think about that, before you even think about the condom, think about your mental state.
Okay.
Think about that, because that's the most important thing.
All right. You hear that, everyone? Make sure that your mental state is on that checklist whenever you're preparing to go over to so-and-so's house for the weekend, even though your friends told you not to go because they see the red flags in it too, but you want to be like, no, I love him. No, maybe it's something else that you're craving. And so thank you again, Miss In Her Voice, for sharing all that information. And I think we all will start paying more attention to, one, how we love ourselves, who we are, and adding our own mental state and our own mental desires, I guess, to that checklist before we walk over and do that walk of shame.
You'll be so much happier. I'm telling you, y'all know with being happy, it reflects on the outside. Yes. Your inside should reflect what you feel on the outside.
Yes. And so this was a great conversation for us to wrap up these special episodes for the month of September. Again, everyone, Miss In Her Voice was here in recognition for National Sexual Health Month. And so I hope all of you all enjoyed the awesome information and the whole new perspective that maybe a lot of us learned about in preparing for sex. It's not just simply about getting the condoms, getting the birth control, the water, getting the stuff ready to have sex, but it's also in us. How can we engage in these relationships intimately and sexually, but in a healthy manner? And it all starts with loving yourself. And so this will be the last special episode for the month of September. We will be having more news for the It's Time to Uncovert podcast, so make sure you're checking us out on Facebook at our Covert Beauty page and on Instagram at Covert Beauties, because that is where we will be relaying a lot of our information. And so we do still have some eyelashes and some of our mirrors for sale on our website, www.covertbeauties.com. If you haven't had the chance to yet, G.I. Payne was here for episode 1, and her story is what inspired the Never Judge a Book by its Covert Chapter 1 lash. And so you can go listen to her story and also buy the lash to support it, because it was very beautiful and moving. And also that self-reflection mirror with the LED lights on the side, y'all. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's a vanity mirror in your pocket, in your purse, in your backpack, wherever you're going. When you in the club, you can pull it out and you can see yourself and make sure your selfie game is on point. So I want to just thank everyone for listening to us today. And if you are in search of any resources for sexual health or for anything that may be beneficial to you, such as counseling, while you're on our website, go on to our Contact Us tab and go scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see the Aunt Bertha search bar. Aunt Bertha is our official partner at Covert Beauty, and they are like a Google search for all social services. So go there, type in your zip code, hit enter, and you can see what services are available for you in your area at low or no cost. So again, this is Covert Agent 0615. One more time with you at the It's Time to Uncovert podcast, and I'll talk to you next time.